I run a local AI coding environment on my own hardware, and today you too can learn this skill that will make you stand out from 90% of AI engineers out there who are completely dependent on cloud API. Most people think that you need expensive enterprise hardware or a massive GPU budget to run AI models locally. But here's what they don't tell you. You can build a powerful local AI coding assistant with budget hardware, even a basic gaming card or MacBook. So in this complete tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up your very own local AI coding environment from scratch. We're going to install Ollama, configure it with VS Code using Continue, and I'll show you exactly how to select models that work with your hardware constraints, whether that's just 8 GB of VRAM or 32 GB. But here's the thing, most tutorials stop at the toy examples. They show you generating a simple hello world script and then call it a day. And today we're going beyond that. I'm going to show you how to work with real code bases, handle large context windows, and even route tools like Claude Code through your local models, so that by the end of this video, you're going to have a complete local AI coding setup that works for actual development projects and not just demos. So your code stays on your machines and you don't need internet connectivity, and there are no monthly subscriptions eating into your budget. Go ahead and dive in. Before we can do anything with local AI, we do need a way to actually run models on our own machine. So this setup part might sound technical, but honestly, it's pretty simple. And once it's done, you won't really have to think about it again. So what is Ollama? Ollama is an open source tool that lets you run large language models directly on your computer. So instead of relying, say, on cloud services, Ollama just handles downloading, managing, and running models locally. It supports popular models like Llama 3, Mistral, and Gemma, and it takes care of a lot of the setup that would normally be annoying to do by hand. And because everything runs on your own PC, Ollama does use your hardware, so things like RAM and GPU matter here. And the trade-off here is privacy and control. Your prompts and code will never leave your machine, and once the models are downloaded, you don't need an internet connection or a paid AI service to keep using them. So that's a huge difference compared to most AI tools people are used to. So to get started now, let's head on over to ollama.com/downloads, and from here just choose your platform. Ollama is available for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Download the installer for your system and install it just like you would any other application. So I already have Ollama installed on my machine, so I'm not going to bore you with showing you how the full download process works here, but it is, again, very straightforward. So just click through the installer and you'll be good to go. And once Ollama is installed, the next step is downloading a model so we can test that everything works. Open up your terminal and run the following command here on your screen. Ollama pull Qwen 2.5-coder:14b. This pulls a coding-focused AI model that we'll use to test our setup and generate our first script. And depending on your internet speed and hardware, this download can take a bit of a while, so just let it finish. And once that's done, we're ready to run the model and actually start using it. After the download is done, the only thing that really matters is whether the model actually runs. You don't need it to be perfect here. We just want to see it respond and generate something without any errors. So this quick test will give you that confirmation before we move on. So back in the terminal, run the model with this command, Ollama run Qwen 2.5-coder:14b. And this starts the model we just downloaded. After a short load time, you'll see the model is running and ready to accept prompts directly in the terminal. And at this point, you're basically chatting with your local AI now. So to test it out, let's keep things simple and ask it to generate a small Python script. You can prompt it with something like this: create a Python function that calculates the factorial of a number using recursion. Include type hints and a docstring. After a few seconds, the model should respond with a complete Python function. And seeing that response is a pretty good sign here. It means your local AI model is running correctly and can already generate usable code. And now that we know everything works, we can just move on to the more interesting parts, connecting this local model to VS Code using Continue so it can actually help us build real applications inside the editor. Typing prompts in the terminal works, but it's not really how most people actually want to use an AI while coding. The real goal is to have this model available right inside the editor where you're already writing and running code. And that's what we're setting up here next. So to do that, we're going to use an extension called Continue. So open up VS Code, head to the Extensions tab here on the left, and search for Continue. Make sure you pick the one published by Continue. then install it like any other extension. And once that's installed, we're ready to move on to the configuration step and connect it to the local model we just set up. So now that Continue is installed, we just need to point it to the model that we're already running locally. And this part is pretty quick, and once it's done, everything just starts to feel a lot more seamless. So Continue is an open source AI coding assistant that lives directly inside of VS Code. Instead of jumping between tools, it will just let you chat with an AI model right next to your code and use it while you're actually building things out. All right, so this is how to set it up. Open the Continue panel here from the left side of VS Code. Inside the chat window, you'll see an option to choose a model. Select the very same model we downloaded earlier with Ollama. And after selecting that, you're ready to start prompting and generating code directly in the editor. And right now, Continue is using your own local AI model running entirely on your hardware, which means everything stays on your machine while you work. All right, so this is a fun part because now we get to see everything working together. We don't have to type prompts into the terminal anymore. We're just going to ask Continue to generate code directly inside VS Code and then just see what it gives us. So to keep things simple, let's start with a small Python script that generates a random number. In the Continue chat, prompt it with something like this. Please create a simple Python script that returns a random number. So after a moment, Continue should respond with a complete script. And once that shows up, just copy the code into a new file, save it, and give it a name, something like, say, randomnumber.py. So now let's actually run it. Open a terminal inside VS Code and run python3 randomnumber.py. And that command will tell Python to execute the script that we just created. And if everything's working, you should see a random number printed in the terminal. And in my case, it returns something like random number 49, which confirms that the script runs correctly and the whole setup is working as expected. All right, so the first script was just for a sanity check, so to speak. So let's push things a bit further and see how the model handles something more involved. A small calculator is a good next step because it's still simple, but it does a bit more than printing just a value. This time, let's create a simple Python calculator. In the Continue chat, prompt it with something like this. Please create a new Python script that acts as a calculator. So give it a moment to respond to that, and you should see a full script generated for you. And once that's done, copy the code into a new file and save it as calculator.py. To test it, open the terminal in VS Code and run python calculator.py. And when the script runs, you'll see the results printed in the terminal. And here you can see the script uses values like num1 equals 10 and num2 equals 5. And then it also performs the calculations and shows the results. Seeing that output confirms the script works and shows that the local AI can handle more than just tiny examples. And now it's pretty clear that the local AI coding model is doing its job. Okay, so generating a new script is nice, but the real test is whether the model can work with code that already exists. And this is closer to how you'd actually use an AI day to day, taking something that works and asking it to improve or extend it. So to try this out, copy the calculator code we created earlier and then paste it into the Continue chat. Then add a prompt like, please improve this Python script and expand it further. Give it a moment to respond to that. And once the updated version is ready, copy the new code back into your file and save it. And then run it again in the terminal, python3 calculator.py. And when you run the updated script, you should notice different results this time. And in this case, the calculator now includes additional operations like modules and exponentiation. And that change alone shows that the local AI isn't just generating fresh code, but it can also understand and then modify existing code bases in a useful way. So far, everything we've done has been focused on Python scripts. And see how flexible the model really is? Let's go ahead and switch things up and ask it to build something completely different. And this time, we're going to go with a very simple website. No styling, no CSS, just the basics. In the Continue chat, let's send this prompt. Create a simple website. And that's it. After it responds, copy the HTML it generates and paste it into a new file. Save that file as index.html, and once that's done, open the file in your browser. and you should see the page load right away. It is very basic as we asked for, and there's not much going on visually, but that is the point here because this shows that the model can generate working websites from scratch. And of course, with a few follow-up prompts, you could keep refining it, adding structure, styling, or interactivity, and gradually turn it into something much more polished. And one of the easiest ways to see what a model is really capable of is to give it the same problem and then change the language. So the logic stays simple, but the syntax and structure are completely different, which does make this a good stress test without overcomplicating things. So in the continue chat, let's send over this prompt. Create a simple calculator app in different languages, Rust, Ruby, Python, and Go. Just provide the scripts here. Again, give it a moment to work through that prompt, and after a bit, you should see separate scripts generated for each language. And so seeing the same calculator implemented in multiple languages confirms that the local AI model isn't just locked into just one ecosystem. It can switch context and generate usable code across different programming languages, which does make it a lot more practical for real-world development work. Some important additional info here. After running through all of that, I do want to point out a few things, especially if you're thinking about using this setup day to day. Local AI is powerful, but it does come with some trade-offs, and it helps to be clear about what actually makes a difference. So if you want better code generation, the bigger factor is hardware. Stronger GPUs and more RAM let you run larger, more capable models, which does usually mean faster responses and better output. And then on weaker machines, things will still work, but responses will be slower and your system can feel sluggish while the model is running. Local models are powerful, but they're also very resource hungry. You can also improve the experience inside VS Code by tweaking how continue is set up. Things like model selection, context length, and prompt style all do make a noticeable difference once you start using it regularly. So the thing is, Ollama really is the backbone of everything that we've seen so far. It's the part that makes running large language models locally feel manageable instead of frustrating. And once it is set up, switching models, testing out ideas, or trying different workflows becomes pretty straightforward because now you're not fighting the tooling anymore, which honestly makes a big difference. The main reason to use Ollama instead of, say, cloud-based AI comes down to control. Your code stays on your machine, you don't need a constant internet connection, and there aren't any subscriptions quietly running in the background. The trade-off is performance. Cloud models are faster and more powerful, no question. But that speed also comes at the cost of privacy and flexibility. So whether that's worth it really depends on what you are building. Hardware does matter here more than anywhere else, and this is where expectations need to be realistic. So a setup with around 16 gigabytes of RAM and a mid-range GPU like an RTX 4060, those can handle smaller and medium-sized models just fine. Bigger models, again, do give better results, but they also push your system harder. On weaker machines, you'll feel it pretty quickly too. Slower responses, your fan spinning up, that kind of thing. Ollama can manage multiple models, and switching between them is actually easy. Running several at the same time, though, really does depend on how much room your system has. And for most people, it makes more sense to treat models like tools. Use one for the task you're doing, then swap when you need something different. Continue fits into this setup as the interface layer. It pulls everything into VS Code, so it feels like part of your normal workflow instead of a separate experiment. Compared to tools like GitHub Copilot or Claude Code even, the big difference is that everything runs locally. And once the models are downloaded, you can just work completely offline, which is something that cloud tools just cannot offer. Local AI models also work best when you use them incrementally. So generating functions, tweaking existing code, building small apps, or translating logic between languages like Python, Rust, Ruby, and Go, that's where they really shine. Asking for huge, complex applications all at once is usually where things start to fall apart, and that's true even on pretty strong hardware. From a cost perspective, this setup makes a lot of sense. After the initial hardware investment, there are no ongoing fees. You're just trading subscriptions for higher upfront hardware requirements and a bit of patience which for a lot of people is a trade that they're more than happy to make. And there you go. That is the full setup here. You've seen how to run a local coding model with Ollama, hook it into VS Code with Continue, and actually use it to build and modify real code. Now, it's not perfect, and it definitely depends on your hardware, but for simple scripts and small projects, it works surprisingly well, and everything does stay on your machine. So if you found this useful, please do like it so it reaches more people who care about local tools. Subscribe if you want more hands-on videos like this as well, and drop a comment down below if you're planning to try it out or if you want me to test out a different model or setup next time. Thank you for investing your time with me today, and I'll see you at the next one.